Well, it's still getting messier and messier in the It Ends With Us feud between co-stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
I said that having read through Blake Lively's complaint, that it was evident to me that she was likely under the influence when she filed her complaint.
With one of the most horrific Hollywood feuds we've seen in a long time, the entertainment industry is ablaze with lawsuits, behind-the-scenes power struggles, and jaw-dropping accusations. On one side, actor, director, and producer Justin Baldwin is battling to protect not only his reputation but also his entire career, while on the other side is Blake Lively, a beloved industry figure. Powerhouse is fighting allegations that she planned a deliberate effort to harm both Baldwin and the movie they co-produced. It concludes with us adding one of Hollywood's most recognizable actors, Ryan Reynolds, and you have a cocktail of drama so powerful it's difficult to turn away. But there's more. This isn't just about two actors butting heads. This is about lawsuits worth hundreds of millions of dollars, accusations of manipulation, and some of the most outrageous claims to ever come out of a movie set. To begin, Justin Baldwin filed a lawsuit against Blake Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist Leslie Sloan. The number of people involved in this legal battle is an astounding 400 million, or nearly $500 million, but Baldwin claims that this isn't just a small argument. His lawsuit alleges civil extortion, defamation, and even contact-related violations. If you're wondering how this all began, it traces back to the production of the best-selling book. What was meant to be a film that would define both stars' careers, K by Colleen Hoover, swiftly descended into catastrophe, with Baldoni alleging that Lively exploited her celebrity to take control of the production and cause mayhem on set.
You're not kidding when you say this is getting messier. The author of that book deleting her Instagram account, another who plays Baldoni's sister in the film being harassed online for siding with Blake.
According to Baldon, things started out well, with both parties seemingly in agreement on their vision for the film, but then things took a drastic change. Lively, who was chosen to play the movie's protagonist, reportedly demanded more creative power than actors normally have and not just a bit more input. According to Baldwin's lawsuit, she bypassed the director and editing team entirely by rewriting entire scenes, redesigning her character's wardrobe, and even making her own cut of the movie. Can you imagine being the producer and director of a film and learning that the lead actor chose to take your work and re-edit it without your knowledge? That's exactly what Bal has done.
They believe that it's a continuation of the smear campaign that Blake initially claims happened while they were promoting the film.
However, things become more messier since, according to the lawsuit, Lively didn't stop there. Although Baldoni's camp has denied these allegations, his team has allegedly provided emails and text messages as evidence to support their claims, which allegedly show a pattern of behavior that paints a very different picture from the polished image many fans have of him. Baldoni claims she used her influence to have him excluded from promotional events for the film, which is a huge deal considering he wasn't just acting in the project but was also one of its producers. In her words, this was a deliberate move to undermine him and damage his reputation.
That Justin won't be bullied by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. So his lawyer told us that their recent court filings show how scared they are.
Let's now discuss the complaint itself. According to his legal team, Baldoni is suing for what he claims are actual, measurable losses, not merely for his reputation. Lively's actions cost him future prospects in addition to causing him personal embarrassment. Given the amount of money that passes through Hollywood, the lawsuit contends that her alleged manipulation and defamation have rendered him radioactive in the industry, resulting in lost jobs and the breakdown of possible collaborations. It is not surprising that the damages total such a large sum.
New video released by lawyers for actor Justin Baldoni showed unedited footage from the filming of It Ends With Us.
One of the most shocking allegations in the case is that Lively reportedly coerced Baldwin and his staff, claiming in the court document that she and Reynolds wanted Baldwin to shoulder the blame for the movie's bad reviews. According to the lawsuit, Lively experienced criticism for her role in the film. The gloves came off when Baldo refused to sign the public statement that she and Reynolds had drafted, which would have effectively placed the blame for all the drama squarely on his shoulders. According to Baldoni, this is when Lively and Reynolds decided to step up their tactics and start what he calls a calculated campaign to destroy him both personally and professionally.
For most of his career, he has been a major proponent of feminism, of healthy masculinity. How does it feel for him, though?
It's also important to note that Baldoni's lawsuit targets Lively's timing, accusing her of taking advantage of crisis situations to increase the impact of her actions. For instance, the lawsuit claims that Lively had legal documents delivered to him and his team as they were fleeing their homes during the devastating La fires. Imagine attempting to safeguard your loved ones and possessions during a natural disaster, only to have process servers arrive at your home bringing a lawsuit. Baldoni's team contends that this was not merely a coincidence but rather a conscious attempt to cast Baldoni as the antagonist in a story of mayhem and victimization.
There he is, creepy Baldoni, getting close to her, obviously making small chatter not in character so as not to make the scene, which didn't require dialogue, awkward.
And it only gets worse if you think that's horrible. One of the most shocking moments during production, according to Baldoni, was learning that Life had allegedly not even read the book on which the movie was based. According to the lawsuit, this led to some of her more controversial creative decisions that clashed with the original film's vision. For example, Baldoni's team claims she Googled information about her character's appearance rather than reading the book to understand her role, which they say is part of the reason her creative changes were so disruptive to the project.
Literally, I'm just asking the question, like, how are women allowed to do this, to take something and to make it sound like you survived, because that's what it sounded like to the public.
Perhaps the most personal accusation in the lawsuit, however, concerns a statement Lively allegedly made regarding Baldoni's appearance. According to the filing, Lively advised Baldoni to think about having his nose done. For background, Baldoni has previously spoken out about feeling self-conscious about his nose, which makes this alleged statement all the more offensive. According to Baldoni's team, there is even video evidence of this exchange, which they intend to make public as part of their legal defense. It's shocking that someone would make such a personal jab on set, especially given how well known the...
Now you have two sides here, right? So Baldoni says this was all an effort to hijack the film to get her way. Lively claims she was the victim of harassment in a hostile work environment.
Then there is Ryan Reynolds, who is also listed in the complaint. According to Baldoni, Reynolds managed to cause controversy despite not being formally involved in the film's creation. During a press interview, Lively casually mentioned that Reynolds had assisted with the script, a claim that Baldwin's team claims blindsided him. Imagine working tirelessly on a project only to discover that someone who wasn't even part of the production team had made significant changes behind your back. This revelation further complicated an already tense environment.
She also provided a cease and desist letter, asking them to cease, quote, all unlawful conduct, namely what they alleged is the, quote, harassing and retaliatory media and online campaigning.
You may be wondering why Baldwin didn't come forward sooner at this point. According to his lawsuit, he was initially willing to overlook the situation for the sake of the film, claiming he wanted to concentrate on making the movie successful and didn't want to ruin the project by disclosing their personal problems. However, when Lively filed her own lawsuit against him, accusing him of inappropriate behavior, Baldwin claims he had no choice but to fight back. His legal team has called Lively's claims not only untrue but also part of a larger plot to shift blame away from herself.
He's saying, look, if you look at this scene that was captured on tape, you'll see there's nothing nefarious going on. She says this actually proves her point. There's an argument that she is hiding her discomfort with what he's saying and doing, and she's just trying to finish the scene like any kind of professional. Which way you take it, which way you perceive it, again, that'll be up to a jury or the fact finder.
As this legal battle unfolds, it's clear that the stakes are incredibly high. This isn't just about money or even...
The way both parties are influencing public opinion through the media is what makes this case so fascinating. To refute Lively's claims, Bond's team has made public what they claim to be unaltered proof, including as text conversations and video recordings. Since both sides are portraying themselves as the victim, it is very difficult to determine the truth, and with such well-known figures involved, the public is watching every development and analyzing every piece of evidence in an attempt to make sense of the drama. Meanwhile, Lively's camp has accused Baldoni of launching a smear campaign against her.
And he says, like, look, this is just, Hollywood is based on pure fear, cultivated by both of them and their very powerful friends in entertainment.
As this legal battle unfolds, it's clear that the stakes are incredibly high. This isn't just about money or even professional reputations, it's about power, influence, and the way Hollywood operates behind closed doors. Whether you're Team Blake or Team Justin, one thing is certain: this story is far from over, and with both sides digging in their heels, it seems we're only scratching the surface of what's to come. What really happened on the set of It Ends With Us, and will the truth ever fully come to light? Stay tuned, because this Hollywood showdown is only just heating up.
Now to the ongoing Hollywood drama everyone is talking about, the legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin.
As the story unfolds, it seems less like a professional dispute and more like a full-fledged war between two of Hollywood's most well-known stars with their careers and millions of dollars on the line. The drama surrounding Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively goes beyond lawsuits and creative clashes and delves even deeper into the complex web of Hollywood power plays, personal jabs, and a story so shocking it's hard to believe it's real.
But this is such a interpretation of perspective, because I watched the footage, and I'm sure we all have, and it's very easy to...
The fact that both sides are stepping up their efforts, disclosing information, making public pronouncements, and vying for control of the narrative is what makes this situation even more intriguing. It's a masterclass in celebrity damage control, and at its core are two radically different accounts of the same story. On the one hand, Baldwin maintains that he was the target of a planned smear campaign intended to discredit him and his work, while Lively depicts a hostile and dangerous workplace where she felt cornered and disrespected. The more each side advances their version of events, the more ambiguous the situation becomes.
I think this was a very dicey move, because I think this very much opens up interpretation to what Blake Lively is saying was uncomfortable, and the key word here, unwelcome.
Let's go on to some of the most striking details from Baldwin's lawsuit, beginning with the allegation that Lively was not only challenging to collaborate with but also deliberately attempting to sabotage the entire project. A 30-item list of demands that Lively allegedly gave to the production crew has been cited by Don's team. Baldoni claims that a list they made halfway through the filming process was both unreasonable and nearly impossible to follow. This list wasn't just about professionalism or making sure the production ran smoothly, it was a carefully planned trap meant to paint the production as inept and give Lively a way to distance herself from the criticism the film was beginning to receive.
But yeah, it's just getting super nasty, and it seems like he's not cowering to this attempted gag order.
Yeah, I don't really understand Blake Lively's.
One of the most shocking accusations is that Lively insisted on significant changes to the way some scenes were filmed, such as adding an intimacy coordinator. Baldoni's team argues that this was unnecessary because such professionals were already on set for all relevant scenes. Lively's camp retorted that the need for these changes stemmed from her own behavior, which she felt crossed personal and professional boundaries. It's a classic case of she said, and both sides have been rushing to release evidence that supports their version of events.
They say Friedman may even be violating the New York rules of professional conduct for lawyers by doing all this. Quote, his conduct threatens to and will materially prejudice both the Lively case and the Wayfair case by tainting the jury pool, because his statements are deliberately aimed at undermining the character, credibility, and reputation of numerous relevant parties.
The assertion that Lively made her own cut of the film, circumventing the standard production procedure entirely, is even more strange, according to Baldoni. The tone and message of the movie were drastically changed by this extensive read-it, not simply a small adjustment. Here's the worst part. Imagine being the director and producer of a movie and learning that someone else took your work and completely altered it without your input. That's the kind of power play that Baldoni claims he was up against. It has been reported that Baldoni and his team were not even permitted to see this version of the film until after it had been shown to a select group of industry insiders.
And that also, they say, includes us responding in the public to the montage dancing video that we put out. Why? Because, quote, the Lively Party's counsel publicly described the contents of video footage relating to Miss Lively's allegations as damning. Their statement continued, any woman who's been inappropriately touched in the workplace will recognize Miss Lively's discomfort.
Moreover, Ryan Reynolds, who was not formally involved in the film's production but has emerged as a pivotal figure in this legal battle, is accused in Baldwin's lawsuit of not only interfering with the creative process but also using his power to coerce Baldwin into accepting responsibility for the film's problems. According to Baldwin, Reynolds and Lively gave him a pre-written public statement that would have effectively thrown him under the bus and absolved them of any responsibility for the film's flaws, but when he refused to sign it, the gloves came off and the alleged campaign to damage his reputation started in earnest.
This tool of a lawsuit or whatever to get it into the public atmosphere, and now you're not going to allow me the chance to respond in the same avenue?
One of the story's more perplexing elements is that, despite Swift not appearing in the movie in any capacity, she was named in Baldwin's lawsuit. Baldwin asserts that Lively used their friendship as part of her purported takeover attempt. Swift and Reynolds were called her dragons by Lively, who compared herself to the mother of dragons from Game of Thrones. This isn't merely a cliché, it's a crucial component of Baldwin's claim that Lively was intimidating and undermining him by using her connections to some of the most significant and powerful people in the entertainment business.
Shutting down a woman's claims.
She is claiming that there was harassment. He's saying none of it is true, never happened, never did.
Not to mention the notorious remark regarding Baldwin's nose, which has been called one of the most intimate and painful scenes during production. According to Lively's lawsuit, Lively suggested that he think about getting a nose job for Baldoni, who has publicly discussed his insecurities about his appearance. This remark wasn't just improper, it was extremely offensive. He felt denigrated and disrespected by someone he had initially trusted as a collaborator.
Sidebar, Blake Lively's team has denied all of these allegations. They have responded to this filing, this lawsuit, saying,
as if all of this weren't enough, Lively is also accused in Baldwin's lawsuit of using the media as a weapon to further her agenda. According to him, her team selectively leaked information to publications like the New York Times, portraying him as the bad guy while conveniently leaving out important details that would have given context. Baldoni even went to the extreme length of suing the New York Times directly, accusing the publication of being negligent and claiming that their coverage was biased and one-sided. The paper has refuted these allegations, maintaining that their reporting was accurate and comprehensive, but the fact that they are involved in this lawsuit itself obviously shows how widespread this dispute has grown. In reaction to Baldoni's complaint, Lively's team has not backed down from these charges. Instead, they have accused Baldoni of engaging in what they refer to as DVO, an acronym that stands for Deny Attack, Reverse Victim, and Offender. In other words, they say Baldoni is attempting to flip the narrative by portraying himself as the victim while casting doubt on Lively's claims. They have also downplayed their claims that his legal actions are part of a traditional strategy to discredit a victim. Baldoni's choice to share uncut film from the set has also drawn criticism, with some calling it a publicity stunt intended to sway public opinion rather than provide proof in court.
Blake Lively's team says that in showing this video, they are blaming the victim here. They also say that they'd prefer litigating this in court rather than in the public sphere.
As this saga continues to unfold, it's becoming increasingly clear that there's no easy resolution in sight. Both sides are deeply entrenched, and with so much at stake, neither seems willing to back down. The question now is how this will all play out in court, and whether the truth will ever fully come to light. Will Baldoni's lawsuit expose a calculation?
The now famous slow dance sequence is one of the most controversial pieces of evidence, cited by both sides as supporting their respective positions. Lively's side maintains the video is incriminating, claiming it exposes her obvious discomfort and Baldoni's disrespect for limits, while Baldoni's team claims the clip depicts nothing wrong and shows a professional conversation between two actors rehearsing a performance. It only makes matters more confusing and begs the question of what actually transpired on set when both parties are analyzing the same material in radically different ways. Ignore the financial, the stakes are high since Baldoni is suing for what he says are actual, quantifiable losses rather than just his reputation. According to his lawsuit, Lively's actions have seriously harmed his career, depriving him not only chances for the future but also millions of dollars in possible profits from the movie itself. Baldoni has been accused by Lively's team of attempting to place the blame for the film's poor reception on himself, implying that his legal proceedings are more about preserving his personal reputation than they are about pursuing justice. The question now is how this will all play out in court and whether the truth will ever fully emerge. Will Baldoni's lawsuit expose a calculated campaign to destroy him, Or will Lively's allegations of mistreatment and manipulation ultimately prevail? How will this drama affect their careers going forward? As this story progresses, it's becoming more and more obvious that there is no easy resolution in sight because both sides are deeply entrenched and neither seems willing to back down. There's no denying that this is a Hollywood battle for the ages, and everyone will be following along as the drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni comes to an end. We have more questions than answers, so please share your thoughts in the comments section below. The discussion is only getting started, so please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more juicy celebrity rumors until the next time. Who do you think is really in charge behind the scenes, and how far will each side go to protect their reputation and career? Remain alert and inquisitive.